Hi everyone, it's Christina with Landscape Management Magazine, and I'm here today with Britt Wood, CEO of the National Association of Landscape Professionals, and we are here to talk about Elevate 2023. Thanks, Britt, for joining us.
Christina, thank you so much for having me and thrilled to chat with you today about Elevate. So we're excited.
I know, and we were talking before I started hitting record that we did this last year, and it's hard to believe it's been a year, and we're gearing up for the next one. So why don't you talk to me a little bit about how 2022 went, some of the feedback, and some of what you heard about last year's event that you're building into this year.
Sure. Well, it is kind of funny that we were doing this last year, except last year we didn't have a real event yet. It was still all in our minds, and we got obviously Elevate year one under our belt, and it went very, very well. I won't sit here and fib to you and say that it didn't exceed my expectations, because it did. We had positive feedback, from folks. 97% of the people who came had concrete takeaway that they took back and implemented at their businesses. 92% of it rated either excellent or very good. So we felt really good about the reaction. We think it's different than anything else in the industry currently, with not only its great educational sessions that are delivered almost exclusively by contractors themselves, but also to our exhibit hall.
Let's talk about what attendees can expect from an educational standpoint.
Sure. Well, I think what the attendees will expect this year, and what they should expect, is that there'll be fewer. First of all, we heard loud and clear that there were a few too many sessions, so we reduced the number. We were right around 47 last time around. We're going to be at 39 this time around, right? I think the other thing, and we have a great program committee that comprised of industry professionals, both from all stretches of landscaping and lawn care. And what they do is they really take a look at tweaking things. And so, like, here's an example of a tweak that they made. They looked at our sustainability track. And as opposed to calling sustainability out on its own, what they said is, well, sustainability really is part of business excellence or operational excellence. So as opposed to making sustainability sit on an island by itself, well, let's just weave it into the four core things that we know Elevate is about, which is business excellence, operational excellence, team member experience, and customer experience. Those are our four core pillars that Elevate was built around. And so we'll be weaving in technology, sustainability, leadership, all of those things to drive those kind of four core elements of Elevate. But that just gives you a sense of how the committee really looks at things and says, how can we make this a little bit better, just a little bit better? And so I think they've done an excellent job.
So let's talk maybe about some of the other elements of the event, the fireside chats, the other trade show experience. What else can attendees expect that's different or new, or what's going to stay the same? Kind of tell me about, other than just education, what else is what else can attendees expect?
Sure. So, well, and you touched on fireside chats, which again was an experiment for us last year, and now is something that we're going to anchor this event around, which is the opportunity for people to come together in smaller groups and talk about specific topics, much more specific than we would get to in a session normally. And we allow our networks. So we have a women's network. We have a Latino landscape network. We have a young professionals network, and we're actually introducing a veterans network, which we're very excited about, that's getting ramped up. And those networks, we largely give the fireside talks to those networks so that they can help plan and program and be part of the programming experience. So that's certainly something that we're excited about. We're bringing back. The one thing you'll find this year is, last year on the second day, we had a few sessions that kind of what I'll call competed with our expo time. We've done away with that. So now the expo time is pure expo time. And what we learned from last year is that there's some really great conversations that are taking place on the expo floor that in our old format couldn't take place because the floor was just way too big. And so we really are sticking to keeping the booths manageable, making it so that attendees have the opportunity to engage in conversations with suppliers so they can really get their questions answered and they can learn a lot about what's happening there. We found last year that a huge thing was we had lots of furniture out in the hallways and people naturally kind of sat down and started having conversations. And we're going to make sure that that continues, right? So when you change hotels, you don't always get the same mix, even though it's another Gaylord. We're going to bring in extra furniture just so people can have those nice networking conversations in between sessions. And Elevate is really designed for this industry, and networking is such a huge part of this industry that we want to make sure that we're offering every opportunity for people to continue to network and build those bonds. This community is rallying around this event, and we just are so grateful for that. And we put the staff and I work very hard on this, but we're so grateful to all the volunteers that make it happen, all the people who come and speak, you know, Christina, you and LM and all you guys do to cover it and to help us. We're just really grateful. And so, I'm looking forward to year two and again, inspiring people and really creating something that's going to be something that people look forward to going to every year over and over. So we're excited about it.